Welcome back to the course. In the last video, we explored the introduction to loops and understand why we need them. Today, we are diving into one of the most fundamental and widely used loops in JavaScript, and this is for loop. By the end of this video, you will understand the syntax, how it works behind the scenes, and when it to use. So let's get started. What is a for loop? First question. A for loop is a control structure that allows us to execute a block of code repeatedly for a specific number of times. It's perfect when you know exactly how many times you need to iterate. Think of it like this. Imagine you need to print hello 10 times or 100 times. You could write console log hello 10 times manually. But that's efficiently inefficient and messy. A for loop lets you do this just a few lines of code. The for loop is the most compact loop structure in JavaScript because it's combined initialization, condition checking, and increment decrement all in one line, right? And we already know the syntax, how it look like. In previous video, I already discussed about it. So there is a three part separate by semicolon. First is initialization. This run only once at the beginning. Usually we declare at initialize a counter variable here. Second is condition. Before each iteration, this condition is checked. If it is true, the loop continues. If false, the loop is stopped. Thirdly is update or increment decrement part. This is execute after each iteration, typically updating the counter variable. Okay, this was the real world example. And now going to the step by step how it works. Actually, we already know the loop syntax. So how it works step by step. First step, let I equal 0. While initialize a variable I with a value 0, this happen only once. Second step is I less than 10. If if I is less than 10, since 0 is less than 10, the condition is true. So the third step is execute this code block, iterate number 0 is printed. This is our first iteration, and 0 will be executed first step. Then fourth is I plus plus. What it means? The increment I by 1, and the second time when the iteration is executed, this I become a 1. Check the condition again. I mean the fifth time the condition check the again. And is 1 is less than 5? Yes, then continue. This is the process repeated when I becomes a 5. The condition I less than 5 becomes a false, and the loop is terminated. One important thing to note, the increment happened after the code block execute, not before. The practical example is first example is print number 1 to 10, and this is the execution format, and this is the example. Second is formatted, and second is print even number from 0 to 10, and this answer will be 1 1 10 1 1 0. Okay, when it's iterating. The third example is counting the backward, and there is the interesting part, but I missed something. Did you notice here something? This is not the regular incrementation. This is plus equal to. That means this iteration are counting not 1, it's counting as a 2, because we are getting the even number. Also, you see, this is a decrement, not increment. So it get the value from 10 to 0, not 0 to 10. Okay. And fourth is sum of number from 1 to 100, and this is exactly the same we did here. Same 0 to 10. Sorry, not this one 1 to 10, and this is 1 to 100, and this output will be 5050 after the summation. Okay, great. You did good job. Okay, great. Now, this is a classic programming problem that demonstrates how loop help us process data efficiently. Okay, this second part is loop variable naming and the best practices. Good. Okay, you will often see I as the loop variable name. It stands for index or iterate. For nested loops, we typically use J or K. Okay, J or K, most of the use case. However, for better readability, especially in complex code, use descriptive names also. Some best practice, remember, always use let instead of var for loop variable to avoid the scope issue. Make sure your condition will eventually become false, or you will create an infinite loop. Keep the loop body focused on one task for a better readability. Okay, great. Now the common mistake. Let me show you some common mistakes beginners make. So first is off by one error. Okay, remember, less than versus less than equal makes a difference. Okay, remember this. Secondly, modify the loop variable incorrectly. And you see, this is not a correct loop format. I plus 2. Don't do this. This is unpredictable behavior. Okay. Thirdly is we forget the semicolon. In beginner, as a beginner, yeah, sometimes we did forget the semicolon. Okay, great. Now, point to use for loop. When you know exactly how many iteration you need. Second, you are working with the array indices. Third, you need persist control over the iteration process. You want to compact readable loop syntax. In upcoming video, we will see how for loop are essential for traversing arrays and the working with the collection of data. Okay. Now, there's the for loop. It's one of the most important concepts in programming, and you will use it constantly in real world projects. In the next video, we will explore the while loop, which is useful when you don't know the exact number of iterations in advance. Make sure to practice writing for loop with a different condition and increment. Try to solve some problems on your own. Maybe print multiplication table or create a pattern with the asterisk. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Drop any question in the comment below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.